what's up everybody? Nola Deach here, and I'm coming to you from somewhere in Louisiana. We are out here to explore this old abandoned sugar mill. There's not a whole lot left, but there's quite a few structures that are pretty interesting out here. And we're gonna go take a look. Come check it out with us. Literally right off the side of the road here is a somewhat of a pathway into the woods where the old mill is. You can see a set of old railroad tracks right here that are obviously not in use anymore. Probably used to deliver all the different items and everything to the mill. It is quite a ways into the woods from the road, but you can almost kind of see a path to follow. But either way, you won't get lost because just up ahead you can see the tall smokestack that is left behind. That's where we're going. That's our destination, to make it to that smokestack. Hopefully not encounter any critters along the way. This was believed to be originally built as a sugar mill sometime after the Civil War, but it was repurposed in 1898 into a paper mill. There's some kind of cement structure here full of water. I'm not sure what this used to be, but definitely part of the mill. Maybe this was some kind of retaining pond or something, I don't know. But it is full of rainwater that's been probably sitting there for quite some time. And it is just really in the middle of these woods, surrounded by trees and shrubbery. And some of this stuff is a little hard to spot through all of the trees and everything. You really got to be careful walking around out here. Yet another part of the structure that is pretty much embedded into the ground at this point. You can see the outline of whatever this used to be, along with some metal things poking out of it next to this, what I'm assuming is a retaining pond of some sort. You can really see, because the stuff has been sitting here for so long, nature's really starting to take over, and I guess just bring it into the ground. And pretty soon it'll probably be completely covered and you won't see it at all. I would imagine if you dug up some of this ground, you'd find a lot of stuff buried. Oh, look at this. I almost ran into this barbed wire. Wow. Yeah, you really got to look where you're walking. And there it is, the smokestack. Made it to the first part of what I wanted to see. So in the early to mid 1900s, this was known as the Easy Opener Bagasse Pulp Mill. Bagasse is the dry pulpy residue left over after juice is extracted from sugarcane. And this place used bagasse to power the mill's boilers and make paper pulp from it. The kind of paper they made here is kind of like that brown wrapping paper. Not gift wrapping paper, but the brown wrapping paper on those big large rolls used to mail shipping boxes. And by using that stuff, it helped process excess sugarcane waste from the local sugar refineries. At the time, the community had a love-hate relationship with the paper mill. It brought money and jobs to the area, but it also brought a really nasty smell. There's a large opening in the side of the smokestack here, the chimney. I wanted to see if we can peek in and see if there's anything else interesting in there. So I decided to take the drone up, fly it into the hole here, and see what we can see. It's a very large opening. I'm not sure why it's there, but obviously it was there for a reason. And you can see the inside of it is lined with some old bricks, but some have crumbled down over the many years it's been sitting here. I don't imagine there's anything really inside here. There's the bottom and the little hole that we looked in a little while ago. It's pretty interesting to me that this is really the only visible remnant left of this old forgotten mill. Of course, there's some graffiti out here, not too much. Just a few spots that have been tagged. We're gonna go into this silo or whatever this is next to the big chimney and see what's inside here. Not sure what this is, but it's very big. Maybe they put the dry sugarcane pulp inside of this thing and you'd get it at the bottom there. I'm not sure. Obviously all rusted out. Let's see if we can see up inside. Nope. And all around the property here you can see all these bricks or pieces of brick that are just kind of laying out on the ground here. Crumbled down from walls or who knows what. Oh man, almost ran into another barbed wire fence there. A lot of those around. According to records, the mill shut down sometime in the 1940s, probably due to World War II. The people of the area came back to oil refining jobs that started booming, and the mill was left to Mother Nature, hurricanes, and the passing of time. Tried finding some old pictures of the place, but it's very hard to find much information out here. Every step I take I get surprised, because if you look in front of me there are quite a few structures up ahead. It just seems like they go on and on. I keep finding more. Just some random rusted out hinge or something laying on the ground here. Now check this out. There's this group of bricks here and they look like they're melted, and I'm not sure if this is something that has been poured on top of these bricks and melted on it, or if the bricks themselves have melted or what. It's hard to figure out what is going on with these bricks. I would really love to know what some of these structures were used for in this paper mill process or the sugar mill process that this used to be before it was a paper mill. It's amazing that they're still out here just rotting away in nature. Like, I wonder what this particular thing was used for, this tunnel or whatever this is. What was here? What was this in the chain of process in making this pulp paper stuff? There's some kind of anchor structure. There was obviously the base of some kind of bigger piece of equipment or wall or something. There's Lycan's Films over there taking some photographs of the place. I'll put his link in the description below. Now this structure here could have been part of the plantation that was out here. So when this was a sugar mill, it was owned by somebody named Benjamin Morgan, who also owned Orange Grove Plantation, which burned down sometime in the 1980s, just east of the mill. And I'm wondering if some of this is part of that plantation, or if this is also part of the mill. But in 1898, the family sold it to a British syndicate, and they're the ones that repurposed it into the paper mill. I'm very curious what this was right here. Some kind of walls, or maybe walkways. I'm not sure. Maybe it was some kind of storage system at some point, or I don't know. But there's these brick walls that are kind of embedded into the ground there, surrounded by water. It's pretty interesting. This looks like an inlet from the Mississippi River. Holy moly. There's an alligator in the water. Oh, he went under. That was a big alligator. Anyway, this looks like some kind of inlet or offshoot from the Mississippi River, possibly it might have been man-made to bring in water for the mill. Who knows? It's just crazy to think all these random little pieces of structures that are out here that I have no idea what this was used for, and they're just out here in the woods rotting away. Check these things out. Some kind of giant lids to maybe a tank or something, like a storage tank. They just look like yard planters now. Be nice to have this in your yard with some plants and flowers growing out of it. Man, these things are really big. Look at the side. Look at the rivets in the side here. There's a whole section over here with all these brick columns. I wonder if this was part of the mill or if this was part of the plantation. Maybe a house sat on these at one time. They look pretty old. And there's not much left to see except for the brick columns. I'm surprised they're all standing. Well, except for that one that looks like it's fallen over. Check it out, an armadillo. I don't see a whole lot of these in Louisiana. He's just rummaging through the dirt and the leaves, looking for food or something to build a home with. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. There he goes. Either he doesn't want to be around me or he's done looking for whatever he was looking for. Yet another structure that we've come across. Looks like it has fallen down. Oh man, I almost tripped over this thing. What is that? Some random piece of iron or something poking out of the ground. Man, this is crazy. I'd love to know what this stuff used to be. Like how it was used. I tried finding some old pictures of the place online, but man, I couldn't find anything. It was real hard to find out much information of this place, but my friend Patrick Duhe did some research on this place, and he's the one that provided me the info about it. But we couldn't find any pictures, unfortunately. But big thanks to Patrick for doing the research and providing me that information. I would imagine some giant storage tank or something sat on those cement holders over there. I still love seeing that giant smokestack. Looks really cool, just in the middle of the woods here. I wonder if this was a window or a door that was here. Maybe this was an office or warehouse, storage facility, who knows. And now it's just the base of it remains, these bricks and pieces of cement that are just strewn about out here, being taken over by Mother Nature. I mean, you think about it, at one point there were people here that worked here, that came here on a daily basis and got paid to do a job, and people lived out here, and it's crazy to think that it just, at one point this was a striving business and now it's just ruins. Now, this structure up here looks really interesting. This one has probably the most shape to it or whatever that's left, as opposed to the other just little pieces of stuff. And Lycans Films is over here taking some photos as well. Deadly Knot is walking around here somewhere exploring. Now I wonder what this was. In the comments below, let me know what you think some of these structures are, because I have no idea what this could have been. There's a little bit of graffiti on this as well. I love graffiti. I love seeing the graffiti art and stuff, but when it's these really, really old structures, I like that there's not too much on it. Man, what was this thing? There's almost like a Mayan kind of element to this structure, whatever this is. It's an interesting build. You know, looking at this thing from this side, it almost looks like that big vehicle, that big tank vehicle or whatever that the Jawas were in Star Wars, doesn't it? Some kind of a retaining pool or something for these things. There's 3 of them. I wonder how deep these things actually go. I bet you if you were to dig up a lot of this stuff, there'd be more, so much more to find underneath the ground, because I'm sure it's been covered by dirt over the many years. That's just so cool looking. There's another armadillo out here digging for stuff. I don't think this is the same guy. This is on a completely different area than I was the last time. Oh. What a cool place. That's going to do it for me. I'm out here at this old abandoned sugar mill in Louisiana. I want to thank Likens Films and Deadly Knot for joining me on this adventure out in the woods to see this thing. We had a lot of fun. Saw some cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed a little lanyard from the Sudat. Go pass a good time.